Hey, this is a secret influence top tip around the importance of customer profiles. So, knowledge is power, and the more, but only is power if you do something with it. But the more knowledge you have in business, the more sort of power you have. That's why research is so important. Before you do any marketing campaigns, before you just launch, before you write a blog, before you do an advert, before you do any marketing, you've got to do your research. You've got to know exactly what your message is. What do you want people? What do you want to say? What do you want people to do? What's the end result? You've got to be 100% clear on that. And then how do you say it? And then who do you want to reach? This is all done in that research process. So before you start work, building your campaign, doing your marketing, you need to do that research step and plan it all out. And part of that is knowing your audience and knowing your ideal customer. So, no one in business should have a huge, wide, general audience they intend to get the message to, because if you aim for everyone, you'll get no one. You need to have a niche or several niches, and more specific you can be, the better. If you know your audience, and you're more likely to connect to the right audience. And if you connect to the right audience, then they're more likely to engage with you. So they will like what you're saying because they resonate with them. They'll connect, create empathy, and they'll, what you say will be more likely to give value because it will reach the right people. And then that means that audience will turn to fans, and that's the ideal thing. Fans of the brand. They'll keep coming back. Tell other people about your brand. Tell other people about you. So you really want to have an engaged audience who buy a product or service, engage what you're saying, and they become fans of your brand. And also just say it's about quality, not quantity. So they're not going to have 10,000 people following you on Facebook if they're not really your ideal customer clients. So they may listen to what you say, but they're never going to ever buy from you. But to have a smaller number who are the right quality, who match your ideal customer profile. So what is a customer profile? Well, it's who is your ideal customer? Who is your ideal client? What do they look like? How do they think? So there's two main aspects of this to consider when creating your profile. The first one is demographics. So it's the factual information. It's their age. How old are they? Are they in 20s, like students, post-students, or are they perhaps the later stage of their career in their 50s, or are they retired? Their gender, male, female, or perhaps both. What's their occupation? Are they in a job, or do they run their business? What sector? What's actually their what's their job title? What do they do? Where do they live? What country? What city? Countryside, or city? These are all important factors. You start with the demographics. Then after that, you list the psychographics. So this is aspects around your ideal customer client that is in the way they think. So what are their goals? What motivates them? What's their beliefs in life? This could be their hobbies, their interests. It could even be political beliefs or religious beliefs, possibly, because obviously that affects how people think and behave. But it also could be things about what are their struggles, particularly in business. What are their concerns? What are their issues? Because at the end of the day, business is all about solving problems, and you want to make sure that your service or your product, it's got to fix a problem. If it doesn't solve a problem, there won't be a need for it. And so you've got to make sure that you find the right audience with that problem. You can match them up and say, I know you've got this problem, I've got a solution. So that's psychographics. You've got your list of demographics. This is what your ideal person looks like demographic-wise. This is what they think like psychographic-wise. And then when you've done that, you give them a name possibly. So, you could say, I've got 3 ideal clients. I've got men in their 50s. They live in a city, they work in finance, give them a name, Tom, they're Toms. You could say, also we have students who use this part of our service. They're they're again males. They live with their parents and they just have education. They're called Jonathans. So you've got Toms, you've got Jonathans, and then you've got perhaps a third group who are mothers who are just going back into work, and they live in the city and are well educated, and they're called Marys. Well, Marys, Toms, Jonathans, and they are 3 niche. They are 3 ideal clients, and that's what it look like. So create your ideal client, customer, list the demographics, list the psychographics, give them a name, maybe give them an image, what do they look like? And then the last thing is actionable insights. Once you do this, you need to look at how do you reach these people? So if you know what your ideal customer client is, you've got to know, what social media channels they use, where they hang out. In the real world, what events they go to. In the online world, it's, what they use Facebook or Twitter, because if they use Facebook, that's how you got to reach them on Facebook. But obviously, if they don't use Facebook, what other social media channels they use? Also, when are they online? Because if your ideal client is someone who's only online in the evening after work or certain times of weekend, that's when your marketing's got to go out. That's when it's going to hit them. That's got to reach them at that time. You don't want to be putting messages out when they're busy, and then it's just not going to work. So how do they communicate? How do they engage? What channels do they use? When are they online? What are they interested online? Do they search for certain topics? They follow certain topics, use certain keywords. Because then when you know that, you can make sure you are writing the right message, it's going at the right time, on the right channels, and of course, to the right people. So you can Google ideal customer, ideal client profile. There's massive information on the internet, help you build up that template, pin it next to your laptop, save it. And any time you're doing marketing, any time you're doing copywriting, you need to just check and say, am I writing a message that appeal to your ideal customer client? Is it aimed to them? Because you want your ideal customer client to see your marketing, see your message, say, wow, yes, that's talking to me. I'm that person. That service, that product can help me. And everything you do is about giving value, because if you give value, you're going to create loyalty. If you give value, you're going to have a happy customer client. They're going to come back. They'll become a customer. So give value. And the only way to give value is if you know who they are, what they like, what they want, what they will find valuable. So I hope that's helpful. And if you haven't done already, do your research, know your audience, and create your ideal customer or client profile. Thank you.